Hello, I'm Elocin Anagram, and I'm going to show you how I made a prescription lens adapter for the Vive Pro Eye and how you can make one too. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get the file. It's going to be labeled as Left Vive Pro Prescription Eyeglass Lens Adapter. Remix. This is a remix off of another one. Most likely linked to that one as well. And so what you're going to need to do is take your STL file and drop it right into Cura. And you notice that it's only the left, but we're going to get into how you can print the right momentarily. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. And the first thing we need to do is we need to rotate it 180 degrees on the y-axis, just like this. And then that way it lays flat. And then you're going to need a plugin from the marketplace. Okay, well, it's going to be called supports, custom supports. This one right here. I currently have version 0.1.0. This will make printing this a lot easier. Custom support plugin, and I'm using the cylinder, and the radius or diameter rather is 70 millimeters. And you're gonna just come right here to one of the openings on the underside and click on it. Then you're going to grab the move tool and move it on the y-axis. We'll grab this and move it on the y-axis so that way it covers up the entire thing. A little more, right about there. Okay. So once we have that moved, we can go ahead and move it down so that way the bottom of the model shows. I like to move it so that way it's just barely touching the bottom, because this right here is red, is the underside. It needs support up to a certain point, and that point is actually right up to here. So what you're also using is you're using the support material as a wrap. So let's go ahead and slice it. And that's gonna take 2 hours and 17 minutes. But we can get this print time even lower. Simply by having the first layer of the actual print to start printing around 8 or 10 at around the 8th or 10th layer. And this will also help like get rid of any problems with bed leveling. If you can't get your bed level perfect, that's fine, but your first layer is super important. But this will make sure that any errors in your bed leveling has been fixed by then. So what we need to do is actually take the model itself and move it down just a little bit. 1 hour, 49 minutes. Now I think we can get that down even lower, because our first layer is this red line right here, and we're at 13. We can move down by maybe 6 more layers. So let's move that down a little bit more and slice and then preview. Okay, so that's 1 hour and 38 minutes. That's actually pretty good. Where does our first layer start? And our first layer starts at layer 7. I wouldn't go any lower than layer 7. Simply because you definitely want some material to be able to pull off from the bottom, so that way all this support material comes off. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot more cleanup to do. So after you've done this, you go ahead and you save it to your removable drive. And then what you want to do is come back here to prepare. And then you're going to click on this mirror button. And then you're going to just click on the red arrows, either one. And it will mirror it to the other side. Now, once you have it mirrored to the other side, you can go ahead and slice it. Preview it if you wish. It's going to take roughly about the same amount of time. And there you go. You're all set. Go ahead and save to your removable drive and go ahead and print off your printer. Now, the other thing I want to say is that I am using ABS. I know ABS is not everybody's favorite material, I happen to have a lot of it left over and I'm trying to get rid of it. So these are the settings I'm using with ABS. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you need to look at these settings. And of course, the printer that I am using is the Ender 3. Now, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I am using the prescription lens adapter right now, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about installing it. So when you install this, you're going to need a certain type of glue, and that is Cura. You can get this stuff off of Amazon. It's relatively cheap. I say relatively. You can pick this stuff up for about $8. You could probably even use like putty, like this, moldable silicone putty. I wouldn't recommend anything like super glue. And the reason is with the Vive Pro I, the way it's designed. If we go ahead and here look at the model, it's designed so that way the so that way you can move farther and closer away from your face. And that's one thing that's annoyed me about other prescription adapters, is that they have to be as close as you possibly can because it's the headset that holds them in. So what you're going to want to do is take some cigarette or some putty and kind of mash it into the corners, especially along the top and the bottom, and then along the sides right around here. And that will act as a gasket and make sure that it stays in place, and that you can adjust the headset to your liking, so that way it doesn't have to be like right on your eyebrow. Just go ahead and make it more comfortable. So yeah, as you can see, eye tracking is working, and I'm actually using it right now. And so yeah, again, if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will get to them as soon as I can. Until next time, until the next thing that I make, which is probably going to be a modification for my printer to print circuit boards. Bye-bye.